is my posters for my Between Root and Realm exhibition. Um, so I was looking at a post on Facebook just now, and another artist is talking about how her work has been stolen. Well, not stolen, I suppose, difficult to say how really, but has been modified and taken by AI, and then the AI images have been used by another person to present their work um, as if it's theirs. And yeah, sort of opened up a big debate about the use of AI and whether we should just boycott it completely. I do use AI to help me come up with ideas and to work things through and reword things sometimes, otherwise it can just take ages. And I do find it quite helpful for that. But there's one thing AI can't do, and that's make my artwork. And I don't think it ever will. Well, it can't because it isn't me. And that's the thing about real artists is the artwork comes from, well, who knows where the inspiration comes from, and it comes through us as like almost like conduits in a way. There's the idea there, and then the idea comes into us. We receive it in like an antenna, and then through our skills, we make it into this physical thing. So I've got my posters here for the exhibition. So the big reveal. There we go. Between Roots and Realm. And it's got all my details on it. So an immersive art exhibition by Claire Valentine Gibson, that's me, of her witches, spirit messengers, and fair folk, inspired by folklore and wild magic. And that's me. That is me. That's what I do. Each piece is created using reclaimed and recycled materials, honouring the spirits of nature and the beauty of giving old things new life. This is my exhibition, Glastonbury Gallery, so that's on the High Street, Glastonbury, and I'll be there Friday the 26th of June from 10 until Monday. So I'm there across the whole weekend, and I'll open between 10 and probably about 5 each day. So if you're in Glastonbury across that weekend, then pop in and say hello. So I haven't used any AI to generate this poster, by the way. Um, and neither have I used any AI to generate my witches. I'm so excited to show you these. So this is what I call the messy stage of my witches. Some of you that have been following me have probably seen um, the witches I've already made with the little hats and crystals and bottles of herbs. And this is the messy stage. This is before I put the hair on. So I've used all sorts of things, bits of bits of wood, bits of plastic, the head and some body is clay. The clothing is made from old clothes that have sort of past their best, no longer useful as clothing, with fabric hardener. And then inside um, the structure, it's like the armature, if you like, is made from. I'll show you. I'll show you. I've got. Let me just go down here a minute. Right. So inside, I use tin foil. So this is that I've cooked with, and then washed and dried. So that doesn't go to waste. A pie tin or a quiche tin. Ate the contents, wash it, dry it, utilize that, and then it's got. Excuse the noise in the background. It's got machine parts like these. So um, I do some work in a factory to top up my art career. And these machine parts were all in the bin, sort of the scrap metal bin. And I said, "Oh, can I have them?" And now I've got, look at this, it's perfect. So they go inside to act as a stand, and I build the witch armature around it. And because they're reasonably heavy, they've got a bit of weight to them. They make the sculpture feel just heavier. So like like a higher, like makes them feel like they're made solidly of metal. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, but actually, they've got tent pegs in, and they have got, what else have they got that's weird? What else have I got that's weird? Oh, there's another one of those machine parts. Um, all sorts of strange, bizarre objects inside of them. Um, and then I create the body structure first, and then once that's dry, I use the fabric to create the clothing over the top. And this one is going to be sat on a mushroom. So I've sculpted the mushroom out of clay, and I just need now to paint that. But today's task is to add the hair and the hats. I'm just going to look at the comments and see. So Isabel says, thanks. She says you draw well. Thank you very much. And she asked me how many I have. So here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 on the art bench, and I have 3 that I've already made. So there'll be 13, of course, 13 witches in the collection. And the collection is called Coven. So rather than show you how I make the hair now, I'm just going to show you some of the body structures. So this is one of them. So she's ready. She is ready to hold. Have I got one to hand? No, I've got these large crystal balls, and she's ready now. She's to hold one of those in her hands there. So the crystal ball will sit here. And I've also made some little cauldrons, little clay cauldrons. They need to have handles added, and these clay cauldrons might sit on one of the sculptures. Then there's this lovely one. I like this lady. I think she's particularly smart. And the fabric here, I've folded the fabric here so I can connect it up with some little lacy effects. So she looks like she's got a corset top on, and then she's got lots of gatherings. So her clothing looks very layered. She's got lots of layers to her beautiful dress. And what else have I made? What else have I made? I can't show you the art bench, it's too messy. But I've also started making some little mushrooms. Aren't they sweet? And then there's this one. So this lady is my little meditation witch, and she holds a crystal ball. If I twist it, it's got different colours that show up in it as you look around her. So from the front it's clear, then you can see through it from the side, and then from the top you can see all these beautiful colours that appear. Then there's this lady, a little bit more voluptuous witch that I've made, because we're all different shapes and sizes, aren't we? So she's got more sort of gatherings and things going on at the top of her dress, but she doesn't have sleeves. So they'll all have a little bottle that they're holding with a waist pouch, and a crystal will be added as well. And then in the bottle, I put some herbs, magical herbs, or a magical oil. Then there's this one, and her base is interesting because she actually sits on a jewellery box. So this is a cardboard box that my husband had an item of jewellery that arrived in, and I had the box. And then I've weighted inside the box with one of those machine parts, so she feels like she's sort of heavy and weighted. And she's kind of got a purpley dress, which I shall paint lighter, and a little purple bottle that sits inside her dress there, which will be filled with herbs. What other ones have I got to show you? This lady here, she's a nice, again, more layered witch. And I've incorporated in the dress, I've incorporated little ledges, because that's where I'm going to place the crystal. A bit like, let me show you an example. So this isn't the crystal that I'll use. Well, she might be the crystal that I'll use, but I've created the ledge so that I can sit the crystal inside, and then it won't fall out once I've stuck it in, and it just forms part of her dress. Then there's this one. Now this lady is already bought. She's not finished yet, but she's already purchased because she's a commission piece. Um, and I offered the lady who's bought buying the commission. I offered her the choice of all of the witch figurines so far, and this is the one. This is the one that she liked. And then, last but not least, I think I've shown you them all, but then there's, oh no, I haven't. No, there's this one. So this lady, she's again a more voluptuous witch with a beautiful, beautiful puffy sleeve dress. Really, really elegant. I think she's very elegant. And then the last one is this one. So excuse the sticks here. The sticks are here to make sure she dries in the right place. So she's sat on a little casket, like a witch's casket, and I've made a little ginger cat to sit with her. Now, and obviously, I need to obviously paint the face and add more fur and texture and to the cat, and then eventually I'll make her sleeves, and then she will be holding the cat. So I just think that that's like really really sweet. So I made the feet are made of clay. Oh, the toes cute. I would say this is probably about, it's quite heavy actually, this piece as well, because again, inside this little wooden casket, I've placed a weight, one of those machine pieces. So that's all the witches. So I'm now going to show you what I would use to make the hair. I'm not going to do it because I'm going to need my hands and then I can't operate anything. So I make the hair from offcuts of fur like this. So this, I've cut this one short because I used it to make the cat. And I'll be using some of this to make the cat's front paws, and just give a bit more fluffiness to either side of the cat's face. Looks a bit thin at the minute. So I use this, and then I use Powertex. Discovered it a couple of years ago. Well, probably more than that now. Love it, really good. You soak the fabric in the Powdex and shape it whilst it's wet. Let it dry, and then once it's dry, it's dried pretty much rock solid. Now I have used under here. This isn't just fabric. I've also used foil and pie tins and bits of cardboard to give a solid structure, so when it dries it is hard and less pliable, and I find that gives it a bit more stability in extreme temperatures. Powertex doesn't seem to like when it gets too warm. So you soak the material in the fabric in the soak the fabric in the fabric hardener, and then just attach the fur to the head and then shape it, and the result is hair. So it sticks to the skull, and then I shape the hair down and the fur goes flat, and then it looks like hair. And then what I then need to do is make little pointed little witches hats, and to do that I will use old bits of cardboard out of the recycling bin, and I'll cut a circle, and that will be the brim of the hat, and I cut through the circle and then push that down over the witch's head and then over the points of the hat, and then that gives the little hat. So yeah, so that's really how I make my witches. So this is more of a talking video today because I need to drink my coffee, and once my hands get covered in stuff then I can't touch anything. So these witches are part of my collection called Coven, and they are going to be down at my exhibition in Glastonbury, which is at the end of June, 26th, 7th, 8th, and 9th of June, which is not very far away now. Let's have a quick drink. Oh, that's better. And they'll be there, and they will be joining. They will be joining my fairies that I've made, called Realm. The collection's called Realm. And you can see these fairies are on my website. So if you wanted to see the whole collection and all the work so far, then if you go to if you just Google Claire Valentine art, then my website will come up um, pretty soon, and you'll be able to find it. Fairies are in the Realm collection, witches are in Coven collection, and then you'll see all of my latest work as well. So if you're interested to see more, please do visit my website and have a look. Um, but if you'd like to see the process of this, I'll be showing a bit more detail on my Facebook page shortly. I'll go live on there and actually show you how I make the hats and the hair and bring it all together. So that's really all I have to say today. Today was really more about making sure that people know that I've got my exhibition coming up and to explain which pieces of artwork are going to be there, including, I'm just going to go this way and show you this, if the camera turns. Yes, it will. Including this piece, which is my hair and moon piece. And it's almost finished. It's almost finished. I've just got a bit of work to do on the hair, finish off the fur, and then that's ready to go. So, very exciting. And it's my first solo exhibition that I've done in a very, very long time in a gallery. And it's my first exhibition in a proper gallery on my own anywhere, really. So, yeah, it's taken me all this time to get that far, but yes, anyone coming in to visit and say hello will be very welcome, and keep me company. It'd be nice to see you. Right, enjoy your afternoon wherever you are in the world, and please do like, subscribe, whatever it is that you have to do with YouTube if you want to see more of my content, and go and have a look at my channel where you'll see behind the scenes of all of the things that I paint and sculpt. Okay, so that's all for now. I'm going to go, and yeah, cheerio. Bye bye.